So, what's up there, YouTube? Zach Attack 38 here, coming at you guys today with yet another video. Actually, coming at you guys today with another podcast. It's been so long since we've done one. Am I right, Avery?
You already know, that's true.
Yeah, so of course we got team leader Capricorn 0783 and our special guest. We got. If any of y'all have channel names or just want to say your real names, doesn't matter. Just say your names anyways.
It's Tom Powers, man. It is Tom Powers on YouTube or either Kimmy15.
Biofuse on here and Jake Skater on YouTube, JHSK8R.
And it's weird because his name on Skype is full name.
When it comes up Biofuse is what you search.
Exactly.
I have it full name, like everybody trips me out about that. But anyways, about the ARG coverage.
Yep, that's what our main topic is for this podcast. So, who pretty much wants to start it?
I'll start it. First off, I want to say that they had better coverage throughout the entire event, commentating, than any of the Konami events, in my opinion. They did such good work with, keeping up, what decks are hot, filming every one of the top duels, getting interviews with all the top players. I mean, literally the top 16 was mainly all players from back in the day, or people who returned, like Dalton Bousman was there. He had just came back to playing. So he made top 16. Like Billy Bragg, the feature match with Fraser Smith was interesting. Very fun to watch. They also covered the finals. They covered semifinals. It was pretty interesting. I really enjoyed the way they did it and the way they set up the event. They had the rounds really quick. They had smooth transition for everything. It was a great event, and plus the prize was awesome.
Yeah. So Tom Powers, your thoughts, sir? Tom Powers. Paging Tom Powers. Oh. Alright, in that case, Capricorn 0783.
I mean, the coverage was okay. I mean, I'm not going to get it twisted. The coverage was okay. Everything was just alright. But in my opinion, why is it that every time ARG have an event, an ARG player wins it? That's just my opinion.
Well, I don't know. Patrick Hoban is definitely onto something about the, less cards to draw. But I think that to an extent that he might cheat a little bit. He tops so much. It's just there's just no way he's that good. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't win YCSs back to back. He goes to Worlds and he goes 1-5 at Worlds, but he wins our nationals.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. How the fuck you I don't like his attitude, honestly. I don't give a shit who fucking says something to him about this. You can come look for me, KC20783, Cop42783. I don't like your ass. I don't like your attitude. His attitude is just disgusting. I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna say he cheats or it seems like he cheats because I haven't dueled him or nothing. So, but I just don't like his attitude. His swag is unacceptable.
It's like saying TeamOtherUniverse should challenge all of ARG to Skype duels. Huh. Call that ARG versus TeamOtherUniverse Skype duel circuit.
As a player, I respect him in the sense that he's got more tops than anyone, and I respect him in that sense. But I just wish that his attitude towards people that kind of are fans of his, if he does have a fan base, he would kind of give back to the community, as in dueling with normal people, or just having fun, or help teach other people how to play, or just interact with other people.
Oh, screw his help. I'm saying that. Screw his help. I mean, this is the same guy, our so-called national champion, and I'm saying so-called because, well, let's face it, I mean, his banless predictions suck. Flat out, anytime anybody goes on to ARG's website and sees his articles talking about banless predictions, ignore them, damn it. Ignore his banless predictions because they give away cancer. They give cancer to people.
It's not something that you're certain of. Everybody thinks something's going to get hit or blah, blah, blah. But it's not always a for sure thing. Everybody at one point thought Goyo was coming back, and then at one point they all thought Shula was coming back, and I mean, everything, that's all prediction. It can't even really go based off just that.
Yeah, but I
he had
mean,
a
like,
reason- he
predicting
saw
that
reasons
D.
for the cards
Fisher.
that got banned, that he thought would get banned. But I actually enjoy this format. The way everything got hit, it's really balanced. The only card they left that is a game changer is definitely Dark Hole. That's the only game changing card they left in the game for the most part.
Yeah, but you know,
That's just like a staple on every day.
But you know, going back to Hoban and his on all his Bams predictions, you know, this is the same man who keeps saying that every time a Bams prediction comes up, he always saying, "Oh, you know, put D Fisher to 1, put Macrocosmos to 1."
What he does is he nukes every goddamn thing that every damn player plays, and only bring say, okay, they should bring back XYZ only when he plays. That's the only thing he does. Honestly, read the
Well,
shit.
to go against that though, he plays Dragoon Universe. He plays 3 copies of Reckless Greed, but in his banlist predictions, he wanted that limited or semi-limited. I can't remember which one, but he was talking about that card needs to get hit, so that actually kind of goes against what you're saying. But besides Patrick Hoban, like, about the negativity of him, like, he still won the event. I watched the duel. Like, I mean, I don't think there was a way for him to cheat when they were filming it. So, I mean, he's still a good player. Like, he's really good. He has really good knowledge of the game. But maybe, who knows? Maybe he's just really good. I mean, we could be wrong. But I think that his attitude could change. Like not, you know, saying anything directly to him. I think his attitude could change where he could be more into the community, like want to play with them, or like, you know, like some people, like for instance, like Nizar, he didn't want, like, after he won that event, he didn't want to play dude because he thought he was like better than him. He like straight like, oh, I'm too good to play, basically, kind of thing. And then he lost to the 6th Sam player, got top 32. That challenged him to a duel, and the 6th Sam player took out Gateway from his deck and still beat him.
Yeah, I saw that duel. You know, pretty much after that, it's like everything went downhill for Nazar, did it?
He eventually got banned, but on the same topic though of this event, like what player were you rooting for the ARG event?
You know, I'm honestly not gonna lie, like you know, to me this just is an ARG thing. Like, this is not a Konami thing. If this was a Konami thing, then I would be hopping on this a lot more. But this, honestly, like, there is no association as far as we know whatsoever to Konami with this thing. So it's like, I mean,
man, look, fuck all that shit. Whether it's YCS, Nats, Regionals, ARG, Frazier Boy, that's my nigga right there. Frazier Smith, I got that nigga hands down. I don't give a fuck. I support him. Fuck that shit.
I'm glad you do.
Just answer the question. Yeah. For me, it was Billy Bragg. He's always been my favorite player, hands down.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna answer the beer thing on Billy Bragg, man. I mean, I'm going for Billy Bragg because he's the man that brought up the idea of Inzectors. Thanks to that, I'm now playing Inzectors, and now I'm saying, Billy Bragg, you the man.
Yeah, he did lose to Frazier 2-0 in top 16 in the future match. But if you watch the match, like in game 2, like he drew 4 dragons the entire game. So that was kind of part of him losing. Yeah, he just happened to get one of those crappy hands. He didn't lose out skill. He lost out like luck. Like, he just drew nothing but traps. Like, you watch, if you watch the duel, that's exactly what happened in game 2. He just got bad hands. He could. And he even says he would have just got one more dragon, he could have done something. The entire game, he literally had almost nothing on the board. He had nothing. And then he was forced to return two dragon rulers. And then when he went for the overlay, he got warning, I think, I think he got warning or bottomless. I can't remember. But then he lost after that.
Yeah, it was warning because he plays Frazier plays warning in this deck, so it had to be warning. I didn't see bottomless.
Man, you know, going back, continuing, I guess, talking about just ARG players just in general, you know, I mean, well, who would you categorize as the ARG players who are not douchebags and the ARG players who are flat out douchebags or complete bastards?
Well, on that topic, I'm not really comfortable talking about people like that.
Well, I mean, the Complete Bastards, you know, I just added that in for shits and giggles, but for real, like, who do you think it would be?
I mean, if you want to say, like, if I'm picking favorites, like, of course, like, I think, like, the good, like, sociable players that can, like, connect with the community is definitely, like, Billy Bragg and Fraser Smith and, I don't know. Vexicus, definitely. Mr. Bexy, he's definitely probably the one that interacts with the community the most since he
Pretty much. Pretty much.
He gets a lot of coverage. I think he connects with the community more than any of the other players. Joji Orlando is positive too. I like that dude. I've actually played Joe before. He's a really good player. But Pat Hogan, I think, is the only one that needs to work on that. Like, out of all the ARG people. Like, he's the only one.
Yeah.
We've got, like, I mean, I did see him at the event, like, back in June. I think it was in July. No, it was in June. But I didn't even talk to him. I didn't even try. Like, everybody told me he's, like, you know, douche. I was like, I'm not going to waste my time with it. It just put me in a bad mood. But I'm not gonna lie though, he was at like table 1 the entire time that he was playing. I think he left. He did like I don't know if y'all know this, but most of the time when people go to regionals, like pro players, well in that category pro players, they don't even go to try to win. They just go there for practice. That's all they're doing is like practicing for like a bigger tournament. Like they're not even trying usually. Most times it's just practice for them. And also, like, I'm curious, do they get their cards, like, free or something? Because, like, I know Billy Bragg, like, how do they get their decks? Like, I know, like, some of these players can't be, like, you know, retardedly rich to get these cards. But Billy Bragg just hopped from blasting the Axis to Dragon Rulers. So, like, does ARG, like, let them use their cards?
You know, that's actually a good question, you know. I mean, I'd actually like to know that for myself.
Honestly, my thing is this though: if you're sitting there and you're getting the cards sent, I mean, if you're getting it from ARG, I mean, that's where you work at. So, I mean, I can't knock you down for that. But if you're getting free cards from other people, then I look at you a totally different way. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with getting stuff for free. I mean, mind you, cards are hella expensive, but
I'm sorry to cut you off. The thing is about that, like, since they're representing ARG, I think those are the only players out of the ARG company that would actually get cards, because they're the ones that have to represent the company. And the guy who owns ARG, he's actually a really nice guy. He doesn't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! For real. He doesn't know. He literally just selected players that were good or were doing well, and put them on their team. From what I've heard, that's what he did. And they're the ones that help him out with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. Like, but I've heard he's a nice guy. So I think it's a cool thing that ARG is making their own little circuit series. Mm-hmm. Even though, like, the first one only had 320 people in it, it's still something they're working on, because ARG is just, like, now becoming something big. I mean, their Facebook page has got, like, 15,000 likes on it, I think. But I really enjoy, like, all the players. Like as I said, like, I won't talk negative about any of the players, like, or anything. Like, even though people might not like Patrick Hoban or think he's a cheater, or think like Simon He's a cheater, or all these people are cheaters. Like, when it comes down to it, I just think like someone can like have, you know, like they could be nicer. That's like just me being nice. I think someone could be a bit more nice, or be more talkative to people like that they don't know, or that okay, I know that it might get tiresome for players to come up to you constantly wanting to talk, but you know, like, to handle that situation correctly, you know, you gotta realize, hey, I'm the one at the event. Like, of course there's gonna be people that are gonna come up to me and talk to me, so interacting just a little bit, you know. But I personally, I've only saw Patrick Hoban, and he's the only like pro player I've ever like saw at an event. Like, I saw like other people I saw that's top and stuff, but I've always wanted to meet Billy Bragg. That's the dude I want to meet. I want to play him too. He's one of the few that I haven't played. Because I played Joe, and I've played a few other ones. I played Jarrell online. I played Simon He. But I want to play some of the other dudes.
Oh man, everybody.
Joe is the only one. Joe's the only one I haven't beat, like, that I played. All the other ones I've beat. I want to play Patrick Hoban too. That's the other dude I want to play.
Are you serious?
I do want to play him. It'd be good practice. Like for me, I like playing as like those kind of players because I know that they're good. Like, and you can't cheat online. So even if they did cheat, like just saying that hypothetically they did, you can't cheat on Dueling Network.
Well, according to CJ Booth, apparently you can. And, you know, we'll tell you the story about that after this podcast is over.
Oh, man, I don't want to get into this CJ Booth, man.
No, we'll talk about that after the podcast is over. But, you know, I guess moving forward, you know, I mean, you know, we already know, it's no secret, you know, this little ARG Circuit thing, you know, it's brand new, and of course, you know, they've got, of course, the Yu-Gi-Oh event, they got the Kaijudo event, which, of course, none of us probably know shit about Kaijudo unless, do you know about Kaijudo?
I do know that Billy Break's brother is, like, the United States champion at Kaijudo.
Oh, alright, well, in that case, we'll classify that as don't know shit about Kaijudo. But, you know, because really, no, I'm not even gonna lie about it. You know, I don't know anything about Kaijudo. All I know is that it's just the reimagination of Duel Masters.
The only thing I know is Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't even know.
I know Kaijudo. The only reason why I know Kaijudo is because it has its own anime series, and I like the anime series a lot. But I honestly didn't know till right now that Kaijudo had a fucking card game. If I'd have known that, I would have got way into it. So now
I think this is becoming more of a rant than like talking about the series.
Yeah.
But for the ARG series, like, did y'all watch any of the feature matches, or did you watch like the first match?
No.
Like finals.
I only watched what the Hiko put up. So I didn't know there was.
I honestly really like. You know, I hear people talking about this, like, so I'm going off of what people say because, like, honestly, I chose really not to really even watch some of the matches going on. The reason why is because, you know, quite honestly, I don't even know if this even has any implications, so to speak, of getting invites to Worlds or anything like that, because to me, like, this just seems like an extra thing, and, you know, like, I mean, what would you really care about? Would you care about the major leagues, or would you care about the minor leagues a little bit more?
I mean,
well, you know, some people like their college football more than they like their NFL, if that counts.
That is so true.
That is true, actually.
Because honestly, I like college basketball more than I like pro basketball. Honestly.
But with all this being said, I think that every one of you should watch. Like, I'll tell you, an interesting match is the match between Billy Break and that other player that was playing the zombie deck. That was very interesting because they went to Game 3.
I keep on.
Yeah, he got, like, Billy Break. Like, this is what he did. This is the interesting part. Game 1, Break, you know, Break opens retarded, and he just, like, he opened 2 ravines, so of course he had the nuts. He just went crazy.
That was the power of Billy Break.
Yeah, it was the power of Billy Break.
Yo,
he just went off. He ended with like a Draco sack on the field and an ancient fairy dragon, I think is what his field was, and he had 2 tokens. And then the zombie player scooped up basically like the second or third turn. And then next game, like, Billy Break had searched out a title and it's the only card in his hand, and then, or something like that, or he summoned the title, and then the dude Phoenix Wing blasted the title back on top of his deck, and then made Crimson Blader and attacked something, and like that was game because there's nothing else he could do. And then Game 3, Billy Break took it. I was like, oh, that was sick. This is a very cool matchup to watch because I haven't saw zombies get to play yet, so it was pretty interesting.
And I haven't seen aliens doing anything until I saw the OCG profile.
I don't understand why Billy Break's last name is Break. It should be Broke.
Hello, Mike.
Really? Why should it be broke?
Yes.
Billy is an amazing player.
He's always going to be my favorite player. And he was the innovator dude for plants. He was the plant dude. He's known as plant dude for me. Like, if I ever meet Billy, I'm like, yo, teach me the way of the plant.
I used to talk to Billy Break quite a bit.
I think Spencer Stroud, if y'all know that dude from like one of the Yu-Gi-Oh groups, he goes to locals with Billy Brake. I think he does.
Must suck not knowing what site to get first place.
So, Mike, let me ask you this question. How did you feel about the ARG's circuit event?
Fucking failed attempt.
You think so?
Failed attempt.
It
Why
was
do you
the
say
size
failed
of a
attempt?
decent-sized regional.
I mean, even though it was the size of a regional, it was their first event. It was an ARG covered event, you know, and not, like, it was only, you know, not everyone can make it out to Texas to play, but they're going around to other places, like, so there might be, there might be people that's
Heads up. I'm actually from Texas, but I'm not even from that area of Texas where they were at. So please come to the Southwest. Screw over there being over there.
If they come anywhere to Washington, D.C., I'm going to have to do something about it.
Their next tournament is in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh,
yeah, no, an hour and a half away from there.
Are you really going to attempt to go there, Mike?
I recommend him to do it.
Yes, you must.
If I go there, I'm going to end up punching Jim McMahon in the fucking face.
What do you play?
Yo,
Maybe.
screw that. Don't punch him.
Pick a deck.
Yo, if anything,
favorite
like,
deck
get the honor
and
of
will always
possibly
be
punching
Nigeria.
somebody else from ARG in the face.
Sure, you're gonna get top 350 with Manchuria. So, yeah.
Hey, do not, under any circumstances, underestimate what Nigeria can do.
Manchuria can like get top 350, like I said.
I boned Dino Rabbit when it first came out with Nigeria, and it was a shit build.
Well, I play Dragon Rulers, and let's see, like, I don't know, I forgot what you said you played, Kaiba.
Who, me?
Yeah, what did you say you played?
Heretic Rulers.
It's like, everything's like a ruler slash now. The only thing I worry about is that I'm about deck, and they're going to send all the dragons, so I have to like zip this off and did that.
Until Gymnast can get some more support, that's when I'll go back to Gymnast. So than that, I'm chilling.
He chilling.
Do you have the full extra deck, though? For Harax? Harax is actually a really cheap deck. It's not even that expensive for real.
I have 5 decks of Heretics. I have the Heretic Blue Eyes, the Play Heretic, the Chaos Heretic.
Yo, can we
No,
get
not
that?
extra deck. I'm just saying extra deck overall.
Can we?
I have 5 different Heretic builds with extras. That means the guys in their Tims and the Bouncers,
Alright, so I really want to get back to talking about ARG because there are some things that, and hopefully once these guys quit talking, we can get back to talking about, you know, some complications that people was mentioning on a bunch of Facebook groups and such, you know, talking about how, oh, this player's cheated, that player's cheated, you know. People was talking about, you know, Fraser Smith and, you know, I could be wrong, but possibly also Patrick Coben, that they was possibly cheating, that, you know, the whole event was rigged in order for ARG players to win. So, now that you've done talking, I'm guessing, you know, would you say that the ARG circuit was possibly rigged for ARG players to win?
No, it wasn't. No, I don't think
Hold on. Zach.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of ARG players are great players, though. Like, that's what you have to expect. Like, their top 16 was, like, stacked with great players. And not all the players that were, like, in the top 8 were, like, ARG players. I think there's only, like, 2 ARG players in the top 8. Which was Frazier and Pat Hogan. I think those are the only 2 ARG players, I think, that were in the top 8. I don't know. I don't know the completely top 8 list, but I know they were in top 8. But I'll tell you one thing. My second favorite player is Robert Boyarjan. However you say his last name, Boyarjan. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. He's a good player. I think he's like one of the best players too in the game currently.
Somebody say what?
Robert Boyarjan. He's a good player. And
that shows how much people keep up with the game.
I keep up with the game because I have to, to be able to play competitively. I've been preparing a lot just so I go to this regional. I want to try to get top 8 at this next regional I'm about to go to. So I've been keeping up with all the coverage from ARG. ARG has good coverage for most events, so I don't have to go over different websites or anything to figure out. I think I hate going to Konami's website to look up information for what happened at YCS. I like going to ARG's Facebook page because they submit the deck list and they show they talk about it and say who's doing this. So that's one of the good things I think about what ARG does is good is since they have players that are always traveling or going to these events, they get a lot of deck profiles and they get a lot of coverage of what's going on at the events and who's in the top, who's in a feature match, who's on the bubble, all that good stuff. And I mean, Konami does a good job too with they come up with all the articles. For Konami, they write better articles for describing what happened in the matches and breaking down what happened game 1, game 2, and game 3. But ARG, I think, in my opinion, they submit better information as in about the player and what they were playing and in full detail.
The fact that ARG has video coverage, I like that. That's the only thing I dislike a lot.
I just wish that Konami was more lenient on letting people film at regionals, instead of having to get permission. I mean, I know there's the reasons why, but it'd be nice if you could. I mean,
I never understood why they do that. Why is there restrictions so restricted?
Because they're stuck up. That's why. Stuck up and cheap.
It has to be more to that.
When I went to the Tuscaloosa regionals, Spoofy was there, and he couldn't record, and he was so mad.
But why couldn't people record?
They wouldn't let him record for some reason.
Konami stuck up when it comes to recording. ARG just had a lot of help from YouTubers that wasn't even on their roster.
As far as you know. Alright, so I guess final thoughts, anybody?
I think that the coverage was really good for this first event. I think that they did a good job for, as I said, about keeping up with who's in the top 16, giving all the deck profiles and showing the feature matches, because usually for a YCS you don't see the feature match, you just hear about it and they actually got to film it. But then again, it's an ARG event, so the rules are different. So I mean, I like the way they're doing it. I like the way RG was doing it. It was pretty neat. And as I said, all the players, congrats to Pat Hoban for doing what he did. Even though a lot of people don't like him, I mean, he's still a good player. I mean, he's got all these tops. He's doing something right. But it was cool seeing Break and Frazier and Robert Voyage and all those good players and Dalton Bowsman, and Mike Steinman, just doing work at the event.
Kaiba Court.
I mean, final thoughts is I want my match for
Mike.
I want that's all I want is an ARG match.
Mike.
Yeah, those ARG matches are pretty sick.
Mike!
I want one so bad.
What's up?
Final thoughts.
I mean, they covered it well. If anything, it'll help players prepare more for gaming, for the playing aspect. Rather than that, to me, it's just an unofficial regional.
The coverage though, it also helps define the format of so basically from what I've noticed in the format is any variant of Dragon Ruler, Dragon Plant or whatever, Blue Eyes Dragon Rulers, that's the deck of the format right now. To the side of that is even though the Dragon Rulers didn't win, they're the most played. I think that's why it was played the most at the event. But on the side of that, Dragoonity, Dragon Rulers, those are really good too. That's something that's a deck that's really is a threat. And especially because they played double Crimson Blader in that deck too. It's really redundant when it comes to playing that matchup. It's kind of scary because back in the day, when I played against Dragon Rulers, with Dino Rabbit, it was nothing. And now Dragon Rulers just make that deck so good. Hogan for innovating that with the Dragon Rulers was really neat. So I think that those are their two best decks right now. Dragon.
Ooh, boy. Well, I guess now we can move on to my final thoughts. Ooh, boy. Well, my final thoughts pretty much, is, I still think that this ARG circuit is the minor leagues. And, I mean, not to say that that's anything bad to that because, I mean, every now and then, we've all got to really, just at least, got to get some type of insight, into the format and everything, So, I guess in some way, I can kind of say that my impersonation is that this ARG circuit thing, it's just mainly to see who's going to define the format and how they're going to define the format and in what way. But, I mean, bottom line is, I wasn't there. If anybody cheats, then, it's really not my problem with them. But, coverage-wise, even though I didn't really see it as it was going on live, coverage-wise, I'd say, good job. Might as well go back and look at some of this, but you know what? If how do I put this? But if the ARG can cover all this like this, then we should definitely see something like this from Konami, because I mean, this ARG circuit as well as their coverage might end up being Konami's wake-up call, I guess. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. Let's go back to see if anybody's talking.
He signed too heavy for Chainburn. So, I mean, the best way to beat that deck, literally, is just keep one monster in the field.
Okay, so while they continue to talk, I'm going to say this is going to be the end of the podcast. So, of course, as always, I do want to thank our guest, Biofreeze, I think that's his name. I'm probably gonna end up botching his name by the time he hears this, but my bad. So of course, thanks for having us as our guest. Unfortunately, Tom Powers, I don't know how he ended up dropping out, but hopefully we can get him back sometime in the future. So of course, thanks to Capricorn20783 as well as to Mike for coming on here for this podcast, even though Mike was unexpected. So of course, as always, like, comment, subscribe to here on Team Other Universe, as well as subscribe to all our individual channels. And with all this being said, I'm Zach, and I'm saying, believe in the other universe. Later, guys.